right, happy Saturday to everybody out there. It is almost Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day. Beautiful month of December. It's kind of hot out here today in Texas. It's going to be 79 degrees, at least in DFW where I am. But we have some wild stories for you throughout the Lone Star State. Some Lone Star State news. First one is a woman from Texas who is in Mississippi, and she is accused of putting razor blades inside of bread at Walmart. Customers found razor blades inside their bread and just scary stuff. I have some crazy stories for you. I had so much stuff I might have to cut some out, but I found the most interesting ones for you. Or the ones I want to give you, the most interesting ones. A coach is arrested because he was grooming a teenager and using AI. Crazy stuff. Also, Dallas businesses target in a smash and grab spree. Some local restaurants, and a man got onto a bus. 20-year-old man got onto a bus to drag his 17-year-old ex-girlfriend out and pointed a gun at her, and was planning on shooting her. What else do I have for you? I have so much. I do want to talk about, maybe if I have time to talk about the young woman who jumped off of a 17-story building and tragically died. It was pronounced as a suicide, but the mother wants more investigation, another autopsy into that. And let's see, what else do I have for you? I'm going to go with those stories right there. So we'll just jump in this. We'll go with the razor blade bread story first. Let me get the screen situated here. All right, let's go.
Well, first now, new details about a disturbing crime spree in Biloxi that caused a lot of concern on the Gulf Coast.
Now listen to this. Biloxi police say Camille Benson put almost a dozen razor blades inside loaves of bread at 2 Walmarts. Benson is now facing attempted mayhem charges. Our Natalie Williamson is live in Biloxi tonight with the late details.
Natalie, investigators got their break in this case when they released some surveillance pictures.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise and Cameron. Shortly after the photos were released, police got tips about who the woman was and where she was. And just hours ago, they tracked her down. Tonight, these terrifying images sending shockwaves across the Gulf Coast. Razor blades in loaves of bread. Investigators say 33-year-old Camille Benson placed multiple razors inside bread.
Honestly, she looks like she's about 46. She looks much older than 33. These criminals always look extra old.
At 2 Walmarts. The Walmart Supercenter on CT Switzer and the neighborhood Walmart on Pass Road. Lieutenant Candace Young with Biloxi Police say this unusual crime spree started earlier this month on December 5th. When a customer found a razor blade in a banana nut muffin.
Store associates, combed through their merchandise. They couldn't find any other compromised items. Thought, hey, this is just an isolated event.
However, it wasn't. 2 days later, a customer at the neighborhood Walmart found a razor in a loaf of bread. Young says police were not called until more than a week later, after someone else at the Supercenter found razor blades in a loaf of brioche bread.
That is terrifying. That is seriously scary. And thank goodness these people found it. I mean, it's I guess if you're slicing up, you're going to come across that, but I'm glad nobody was hurt from this, because this could have killed somebody easily. You put that down somebody's throat, and I don't even want to think about that.
They did another sweep of their merchandise on display for sale and found multiple loaves of bread that were compromised with razor blades. They also, at that time, found a muffin that had a fish hook in it. Somebody had poked those items through the plastic packaging.
Biloxi police releasing these surveillance photos of Benson early Tuesday, and just hours after they were released, investigators say someone spotted Benson here on Division Street, leading to her arrest. One resident in Biloxi who didn't want to go on camera is wondering what everyone else is. Why would someone do this?
The fact that you even thought about doing that is just insane to me.
Yeah.
We received a statement from Walmart this afternoon. It reads in part, quote, "The health and safety of our customers is always a top priority. We have removed and thoroughly inspected all potentially affected products at impacted stores in Biloxi. We appreciate law enforcement for their swift action and will continue cooperating with them as they investigate." Benson's bond has been set at $100,000. Live in Biloxi.
That is some terrifying stuff right there. Oh my gosh. Bread, razor blades inside of bread. I mean, now it's like, do you think, I mean, you just don't know what people are capable of. They're capable of anything. And attempted mayhem. What is attempted mayhem? An attempted mayhem charging, let's see. It refers to a situation where a person takes a substantial step towards committing the crime of mayhem but does not complete the act. Okay. So does this charge fit the crime that she was potentially, do you think it should be put attempted murder charge or attempted mayhem? It could have actually gone either way. Let's say if she did fall, if somebody did get injured or killed from that, then yeah, I think you would have had a murder charge on your hands right there with that. But that is scary stuff. Glad this was caught. I'm glad the police jumped on this and found this crazy woman and put her behind bars. All right, so next I want to go to Mesquite man arrested raises alarms about AI use of child grooming.
Tough story to start with, but an arrest affidavit obtained by CBS News Texas reveals the suspect involved in this used an AI-generated document outlining manipulation tactics. Here's CBS News Texas' J.D. Miles to fill us in on the details.
Authorities say the victim and the accused met through their connections to this Mesquite church. A 16-year-old girl played on a volleyball team coached by the pastor's son, Mathan Lowe. In October, the teenager's mother took her to the Mesquite Police Department after finding months of inappropriate and sexual messages from Lowe on her daughter's phone, according to a police report. Detectives say the girl told them the 32-year-old, with a wife and 3 kids, pressured her into sexual acts in parking lots around Mesquite and Forney. When authorities arrested Lowe, they found he had a digital device with the noted titled Hypothetical Counter-Influence Plan. It appeared this was an AI-generated document. The arrest report says the document included 5 AI-generated steps that are identical to those used by child sex predators.
We have what the affidavit shows, which are the classic steps to child predator grooming, which are
Stabilize and strengthen her, plant gentle doubts, rebuild her autonomy, shift the power dynamic, and let her choose.
the classic steps to child predator grooming.
Timothy Bray is a UTD criminologist who says if Lowe used AI technology for help becoming a child predator, so could others.
Frankly, I'm not surprised. We have access to this vast tool that's out there.
For help becoming a
There's no way this guy is 32 years old. I'd say at least 42.
child predator, so could others.
Frankly, I'm not surprised. We have access to this vast tool that's out there. In the very real world, if a person walked up to a psychiatric practitioner, some sort of counselor, and asked them for the steps, that counselor would be taken aback and wonder what this is all about, right?
Bray says predators can easily take data, studies, and research developed over the years to warn parents and better protect children against sexual exploitation, and now use it against them through AI.
And through this new tool, a potential perpetrator has access to those steps in sort of a shortcut method.
The Christian Center of Mesquite sent a statement which says Lowe's father has resigned as senior pastor, and that the church board is unified in its strongest possible condemnation of the criminal actions that led to this arrest. We note that Mathan Lowe was not an employee of CCM. The police report says the AI plan authorities found on Lowe's iPad included in-depth details on how to achieve each step in what was titled an influence plan. In Mesquite, J.D.
Man. So using AI to groom a young woman, that's sad because AI compiled all that data that was used to warn parents about what to look out for, and then it compiled it together and gave this man a platform to as a basis to groom this young woman. I mean, do you think he could have found it on his own anyway, or he would have found out some other way to do this, or was this made much easier for him because of it? Would it have had the same result? Because you see, you hear about stories of child grooming a lot in general before the whole AI thing started to explode. So I wonder if this just if the same thing would have happened, or if this just going to accelerate that process and gave this man something to work with because of the results he got back from AI. And that's the problem with AI, is that, I mean, there are some benefits to it. There are some great benefits to AI, but then there are also some downsides, especially when you have situations like this. So let me know what you think about that. If the use of AI scares you because of stories like this. All right, now I want to go to Dallas businesses targeted in a smash and grab spree.
Several Dallas business owners say a thief broke into their shops, making off with cash, leaving a big mess behind. It happened at a shopping center on Abrams Road and Royal Lane. This is in Northeast Dallas. Some of the businesses have surveillance cameras, you can see there, that show the crimes pretty clearly. Fox 4's Stephen Dials spoke to some of the owners. Stephen.
The same suspect is seen in at least 2 surveillance videos using a rock to break into the businesses, getting away with tip money and hundreds of dollars.
This is surveillance video early Thursday morning outside of Mario Bros Tacos on Abrams in Northeast Dallas. The suspect repeatedly throws a rock at the door until he is able to break the glass and get in.
Yeah, he got away with about $300 to $400 in cash from our opening till plus my staff tips. But the more damage was obviously our door and our window that he broke.
Mario Moya is the owner. He said that he was woken up by text alerts from his security company.
As soon as I saw the video, it brought flashbacks to 2023.
Moya told us his business was hit in a similar way 2 years ago. Dallas police have not identified a suspect. Mario Bros was not the only business hit early Thursday.
Oh my God.
The owner of Primo's Brothers Pizza on Forest and Abrams shared this video with us. It's from the same day, minutes after the Mario Bros break-in. The owner didn't want to go on camera, but told us
the Mario Bros and Primo's Bros got broken into by the same guy.
Got away with money in the tip jar. The jar now has the rock that was used to break into the business in it. Moya at Mario Bros told us, aside from his and the pizza break-in, at least 2 other businesses were hit.
I paid out of pocket for everything, basically. I covered the door, the window, the tips, the till. It's unfortunate, but there's people out there that prefer to steal and work.
Yep.
We reached out to the Dallas Police Department. They confirmed that they are investigating these incidents, but had no further explanation or details about their investigation.
Just ridiculous stuff. Ridiculous. Scumbag couldn't get a job, so you had to go in and break in these businesses because people work so hard to build up, and you take $300-400 out the register, then the tip money. I mean, I just hate to see it. This guy knew what he was doing, and you could just break those registers and they pop right open. I wonder what kind of security measures they are going to take going forward. One guy had an alarm system, and because he was alerted by a security company, so he did have those procedures in place. You would never. All right, so I'm going to post this comment right here. I would never live in Dallas. Neither would I. And I hate going to Dallas. I don't go to Dallas often unless I have to, but you couldn't pay me enough to live in Dallas. I prefer being on the Tarrant County side. So yeah. You see way too many stories out of Dallas. Way too many. There's one that I found. Sure, I have so many stories I can show you. We could go on for about 3 hours, but I can't go 3 hours today. But yeah, no thank you to Dallas. But like you said, people would rather break into a store and steal instead of get a job and work hard like the rest of us do. And these people work hard, build their businesses up. They have employees there. It could have been their lifelong dream to do this, and sadly, some scumbags going to come and try to take what you have. So I wonder what they're going to do going forward as far as the register. I know a lot of businesses do keep at least $200 or $300 to open up their stores. but I wonder if he's going to start securing that in a more proper way so these types of things won't happen. He's going to put in a safe from going forward. Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, now this story right here really blew my mind. A grown man stops a school bus here in Texas, 20-year-old man, to pull his girlfriend off of the school bus. See what I just said? And he threatens to shoot her.
Tonight, a man accused of stalking his ex-girlfriend and boarding her school bus with a gun is being held without bond.
20-year-old David Madison faced a judge tonight and is due back in court tomorrow.
Matt Doherty is hearing from the girl's mother, who says they're frustrated with how their complaints about the suspect have been handled so far. Matt?
The girl's family says the suspect had been harassing them for months and they tried to get help. Tonight, the constable's office tells me there was nothing they could do until Saturday.
I knew he was going to try to do something.
The he that this 17-year-old Spring High School junior is talking about is this man, 20-year-old David Madison.
They're charged with 3 criminal offenses.
The felony charges included
This 20-year-old scumbag dating a 17-year-old girl, going on a school bus to get her.
attempted kidnapping and assault. Early yesterday morning, security video shows what happened soon after a Miracle school bus had picked her up for school. First, authorities say Madison cuts off the bus so the driver can't get away. Then they say he gets out with a gun.
He tried to force open the doors and he pointed the gun at my bus driver and told her to open the doors.
Imagine how scary that is for all the people on the bus.
When the doors open, he got on the bus and he started tugging on me and my hair.
A Miracle says she held tight to the bus seat.
I knew he was going to use it, or I knew I was going to die.
The boy sitting next to her held onto her tightly too. And then,
but he just stopped and he told me he was going to see me later.
The Spring High School students got off the bus as quickly as they could. Madison was located and arrested this morning by the U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Offenders Task Force.
This has been happening since September, October. Incidents was him coming over here, banging on my door, acting crazy, doing stuff.
Tonight, a Miracle's mother says she knew this was going to happen.
Over 6 times. I went to the precinct. I did everything I can do to try to stop this.
The Precinct 4 Constable's office says deputies went to the family's home multiple times since September. Once for someone banging on their door. Another time for a suspicious vehicle they thought belonged to the suspect. But each time the constable's office says nobody was there and there was nothing they could do. That was until Saturday, when Madison was in his car outside of the home. Deputies say he told them he'd made up with his girlfriend and was waiting for her. He was issued a trespassing citation. Tonight, a Miracle says as long as he's behind bars, she feels safe.
I know he can't hurt me no more.
Tonight, Madison is being held without bond. He will have a bail hearing tomorrow. Mia.
This underscores just how quickly threats.
Somebody said he reminds him of Sideshow Bob. Yes, the black Sideshow Bob.
Threats can escalate. Relieved everyone's okay. Matt Doherty tonight, thank you. It is important to share if you or someone you know is struggling with domestic violence, no matter how young, help is available. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
I mean, do you think that the mother bears some responsibility? And I'm not saying this is her fault, I mean, completely, but by allowing her daughter to date this grown man, this 20-year-old guy, I don't know. A high school student dating a 20-year-old guy is a little weird to me, and just be careful out there with who you are dealing with the men. It goes both ways. I know a guy who's dealt with some crazy women, not me, but I know a guy who has had a gun pulled on him by his ex, threatened to come by and shoot up his house, all kinds of crazy things. Yeah, but I hope this guy stays behind bars for a very long time, because he said he's going to see her again, and we don't want to see anything happen to her. All right, well, I have another story for you I wanted to get to. All right, I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a woman, a Texas A&M Texas A&M student who jumped off.
The mother of a Texas college student who died Thanksgiving weekend still demanding.
All right, sorry about that. Texas A&M student who jumped off of a 17-story from the 17th floor to her demise, and the police say it was a suicide. But the mother thinks that something else could be going on. She wants another investigation. She thinks that it happened too quickly. She says her daughter was not suicidal. Let's get into this.
Answers about her death.
The mother of A&M student Brianna Aguilera wants a new investigation and a second autopsy. Here's Ron Trevino.
She was not suicidal.
Earlier this month, we heard a devastated mother not accepting what Austin police were saying about her daughter's death, that the evidence points to suicide.
My daughter was not suicidal. I know my daughter better than anyone. We spoke every day. I cannot deal with you jumping to conclusions and not performing an actual investigation.
Austin detectives say 19-year-old Brianna Aguilera fell to her death from the balcony of a 17th floor apartment. And while they announced that they believe it was suicide, her mother is still not buying that. She's now telling People magazine she wants a second autopsy conducted. Still no autopsy results from the Travis County ME. And she wants a new lead detective. You may remember how one of her attorneys, Tony Busby, slammed Austin PD.
Am I suggesting that there's some kind of conspiracy? No, I'm suggesting they're lazy.
Busby said he wanted the Texas Rangers to investigate.
I've been in contact with Austin PD. They tell me it remains an active death investigation, but not a homicide investigation. They also tell me the lead investigator remains the same. As for the Texas Rangers, as of tonight, they have not received a request to investigate the death of Brianna Aguilera. Ron.
Yeah, that is a wild story right there. Extremely crazy. I don't know. I saw multiple videos on the story. I read about it, and there are either one or two things happened. There's something else going on, or it is exactly what they said it was, that it was a suicide. So I want to read this from People magazine. I went and found this. Give me 1 second here. I went and found this for you so we can read this article. Mother of Texas A&M student requesting second autopsy, demanding new detective, saying my daughter was not suicidal. Here's the mother and here's the daughter. And I found the daughter's Instagram page, and it's pretty scary how you could go through her pictures, and she looked like she was very happy with. That doesn't always tell the full story, but you can see her last picture posted, and a lot of people are saying in the comments that some of these comments are being deleted, that their comments were deleted. I don't know why, but yeah. Let's see. A lot of people think maybe the friends are responsible for this. All right, the parents of Brianna Marie Aguilera, the Texas A&M student who died last month following a football game in Austin, are continuing to seek clarity on their daughter's death, telling People this week they refuse to believe she died by suicide. Funeral services for Aguilera, 19 years old, were held on Sunday, December 7th, while memorial services continued throughout the week. Afterwards, her mother, Stephanie Rodriguez, tells People that she and her family are demanding a new investigation into her daughter's death. Last week, the Austin Police Department announced at a December 4th press conference that all evidence in this case points to Aguilera having died by suicide. But the official determination didn't change Rodriguez's mind about what she believes happened to her daughter in the early morning hours of Saturday, November 29th, when she fell to her death from a high-rise apartment. I just want justice for my daughter, Rodriguez tells People. I know something happened to my daughter, and I know someone out there knows something. I'm not going to stop until I find it. She deserves at least that, until I'm not going to let her name go down in vain as suicidal, because I know my daughter was not suicidal. Austin Police Department Detective Robert Marshall, the lead homicide detective on Aguilera's case, said last week that between all the witness statements, all of the video evidence, all the digital evidence collected, at no time did any evidence point to this being anything of a criminal nature. The local investigation also said they found what appeared to be a suicide note in a deleted notes folder on the college student's phone. Our investigation revealed that unfortunately Brianna had suicidal comments previously to friends back in October of this year, Detective Marshall said at the press conference last week. This continued through the evening of her death with some self-harming actions in the evening and a mess. Let me see, read that one more time. Continued through the evening of her death with some self-harming actions. Okay. And earlier in the evening and a text message to another friend indicating the thought of suicide. Police in Austin had discovered Aguilera's body outside 21 Rio, a 21-story apartment complex, hours after the rivalry football game between the Aggies and the University of Texas ended. Yeah, this is, let me check to make sure no comments here. All right, I'm going to keep going. They've also been, okay, Aguilera's death. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis said the department decided to hold a press conference to address Aguilera's death to inaccurate information that has circulated and been reported and that has led to additional harm of innocent people, bullying included, and their families. There also have been reports, also been statements suggesting the police have failed to do our jobs. The police chief added, those statements are not accurate. Rodriguez has spoken out against the police investigation throughout, previously speculating to people she believes her daughter may have been pushed from the balcony where she fell. Police, however, said last week there was no evidence that was the case, adding that video surveillance showed a large gathering at the apartment on the 17th floor, but that most of the people had exited the unit, leaving behind Aguilera and 3 other girls. Police said Aguilera was on the phone with her boyfriend 2 minutes before she fell, and that the other girls in the unit told investigators they heard her arguing on the phone. Cell phone records confirmed the call with Aguilera's boyfriend took place minutes before she fell, police alleged. This week, Aguilera's mother tells people she believes Austin police have failed to adequately investigate her daughter's death, adding that she and her husband have demanded for them to switch investigators and they haven't. The grieving mother claims no one at the Austin Police Department is currently answering her phone calls. Rodriguez now says her family is seeking an additional investigation from the Texas Rangers while she and her husband are hiring a second autopsy to be done on her daughter's body. She was always very lively, Rodriguez says of her late daughter. She was life of the party. She was always smiling. She's beautiful. Sometimes even myself, I was like, I don't understand how this child would come out of me because she was just so beautiful. She had just this natural glow in her, and she had this protective mode. Rodriguez adds, she loved life. She loved her brothers. She loved being an Aggie. She was an amazing human. I know that she would have changed the world, Aguilera's mother continues. She was an amazing daughter. She was an amazing sister, an amazing granddaughter, a cousin, niece to everyone. We're all heartbroken. We're all heartbroken. We are still in denial. We still think that she's in college, but that she's not. But it's not that. Our lives have been forever changed by this tragedy. Yeah, that is very tragic. The whole thing is sad. The whole thing is crazy. When I heard about this and I was looking a little bit more into it, it's, as a mother, as her, you don't want to believe that your child is suicidal. And that's why she wants more investigations. It's based off of her behavior and how happy she seemed. She would never think that she's suicidal. So I'm looking at two arguments, two sides of the argument from just reading comments and what other people are saying. A lot of people think that there are things that the mother did not know. There are things you don't know about your kids. They're not telling you the whole story. We don't know what she was going through internally. And if all this is true with the evidence that they've compiled with the camera, the video evidence and the statements and all that, and the deleted note, I mean, then very likely, it could have been a suicide. But I don't know. I would like to see where this goes. I would like to see where this goes if they get another investigation, another autopsy, if they switch investigators, because she feels like the Austin Police Department was very lazy and they came to this conclusion very quickly. But the reason why they got ahead, why they came out and did a press conference on this is because of all the allegations they were getting, that there was some kind of cover up, that they were covering this up and there was more to the story, and that her death was not a suicide. So yeah, there's that. We'll see where this goes. Very sad and tragic story, but I don't know. My condolences go out to the families. And a lot of people think that the friends are behind it. They think because her cell phone was found in a forest, and then her phone was in her friend's pocket as well. The police found the phone of this woman inside of a friend's purse. So there are some questions that have been raised with this whole thing. But yeah, I'll leave that right there. I had a few stories for you. If you did not get a chance to watch this live stream from the beginning, let's see, Mr. Popularity 000. Thanks for your comments and your engagement in this live stream. I really appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, go hit that subscribe button. But he says she was probably bullied at school. That's you never know. We don't know what could have happened. Maybe she was bullied at school. Maybe she was bullied in her past in high school. She was only 19 years old. We don't know what was going on with her relationship with the ex-boyfriend. But and somebody says, look, I read a lot of comments on these stories to get what the consensus is from other people when I'm going through these stories on YouTube. Some people say, well, somebody could have typed that up, and somebody could have typed it up and then deleted the suicide note on purpose to make it look like a suicide. There are all kinds of theories going on. And then you have one side saying this is exactly what it is. So I don't know. We'll find out. If they do another autopsy and they get another investigator and they come to the same conclusion, then maybe it is exactly what the police are saying it is. But I don't know. I'll leave that right there. I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you missed the entire thing, you will be able to go back and watch it. We had some crazy stories. Not only that crazy scumbag on the school bus, we had the Texas woman in Mississippi putting razor blades inside of bread. She was caught, thankfully. So go back and check that out. Mesquite men use AI to groom a teenage girl. A lot of perverts. Look, we have a lot of perverts in Texas. We have a whole lot. I can go through tons of stories about teachers and coaches doing some creepy things with high school students. There's one story that's developing out in Salina. It's been developing over the past month or so. Teacher out there, and the father is a football coach, big name, and there's some kind of cover-up going on with his son, who is a teacher at the school, I believe, and he had some relationships or doing some creepy things. I have to go back and read this story, and maybe I'll bring it to you next week or in a separate video by itself. Now that some time has gone by, I can put everything together for you. But lots of stuff happening in the state of Texas. 31 million people in our state, so there's always going to be something going on across the board. But I'll leave it right there. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Share this out. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.